anyone that has a tither of love in their soul, this is the week to go out and look at the heritage that you're interested in, have it explained to you, because once you know about something, then you have far more interest in something.
There's something here for everyone that's part of their heritage and makes us who we are, and I think people really enjoy it.
A lot of people think that heritage is just buildings, and it isn't. You know, there's so much more. We've got so much natural heritage in Ireland.
Grown-ups are always very anxious that children should learn about wildlife, and I'm very anxious that grown-ups should learn about wildlife.
It's good for everybody, not just children, to know exactly what our history is.
You get to see all the different kind of crabs and periwinkles and hermitfish.
I do think there is a growing awareness in the country about the need to look after our heritage.
If we've no heritage, we might as well live in a glass bubble by ourselves with no interaction with anything else.
It's just connecting people back to here, not to Timbuktu or to New York.
The event is really nice.
I like the birds of prey and the Duncan tank.
You really have to know your heritage before you can conserve it, before you can love it, before you can pass on knowledge of it to other people, and that's what Heritage Week is all about.
It's free, it's fun, the weather's great, why not?
I'd recommend Tramore Beach and the rock pools.
And he thinks Heritage Week's fantastic too.
Heritage Week is for everybody, experts showing us our heritage. You'd be an idiot not to come out.
The fourth year the Medieval Festival here in Fethard is going on. It's a brainchild really of the Historical Society and the local community all coming together. Our agenda is to engage people in heritage and to just make the connections between people and where they live and the places they're from. And a vista like this is one of the best vistas in the country and such a great piece of community land for people to come and enjoy.
I'm here in Tramore, and what I'm going to do today is I'm going to lead a group to examine the rock pools. And of course, rock pools are the most interesting part of any beach, because when the tide goes out there's water left behind and they're full of interesting creatures that we're going to find and look at. The most exciting things are the things that move. So when we go to the water and start rooting around, the things that move are going to hide. Fish the bullock, the fish the pig.
There's one crab that pretends it has defences, but it doesn't actually.
Girl crab and buckle no Caline.
From 1 to whatever age, they're all here today enjoying it, and I think that's really, really important.
St Patrick's Cathedral has been at the heart of Irish history for 800 years now. We've got a really, really full lineup of events here in the Cathedral for Heritage Week. We've got a mixture of talks, tours, and probably our main event has been a historical reenactment.
There we're reenacting the battle of the two families, the Butlers and the Fitzgeralds.
I got a bit of a fright when they came out. They were showing us the different kinds of helmets and the swords. One of the swords was really big.
The real reason for that was to lighten the blade, to keep it balanced.
We have two exhibitions. We have a Bible exhibition that is commemorating the publication of the King James Bible. And then we have a fascinating medical exhibition in the second gallery.
Every year, Heritage Week is a very big attraction.
I think it's a lovely way to see the richness of Ireland that we don't get to normally see.
And it's interesting to see such old books in such good condition.
I'm a fifth generation blacksmith. I started blacksmithing when I was about 7. I was brought into my father's workshop, and it was just a novelty for me to be paid to come in and light fires. And we reuse old metals that have been found on the ground. We'll refire them, forge them, shape them, and utilise them then within the castle itself. Heritage to me is the traditions and skills that were passed down through the generations, keeping them alive and passing them on to the next generation.
This is part of an archive that I've been developing over the last maybe 3 years or so. Currently the archive holds about 300 or 400 photographs of vernacular forged iron gates. In each local area you'll see a number of gates that are very similar in design. So it seems like to me that the local forge came up with what you might call it is a local design solution. Somebody has made these and they're part of our heritage and they need to be recognised and honoured in that way.
Newbridge House is about 250 years old and it's been continuously lived in for the last 200 years. We just wanted people to participate and see traditional arts and crafts, and we wanted children to experience this, so that's why we got involved in Heritage Week.
Yeah, it was great. We got to see all the animals and all, and I'd definitely come back here again.
I do think it's quite important to keep this alive. It's been passed down through generation to generation.
Drimnagh Cheese has been here for 7 years. We're based here in the village in Stonyford. We're actually on the main street. It was the local heritage group came to me and invited me to participate. And I suppose their point of view was that food production is very much part of our current heritage. People tasted the goat's milk cheeses, the sheep's milk, the cow's milk, and we had a discussion about the different types of cheeses.
My favourite cheese that I tasted was the cow's milk. I learned about how cheese is made.
You need to have a sense of belonging, and these heritage events create that sense of belonging, which is terribly important. And if people feel that they belong to a country, they will give something to it.
Heritage Week is encouraging us to go in and find out about our own history.
It is part of people's heritage that they understand kind of where their local food comes from.
We get people in Europe, the US, the UK, and a lot of Irish people, which we don't usually get.
So it's kind of important to keep the farm alive, keep the parkland alive.
I got it?
Yeah, go.
See, it's not working.
Heritage Week is wonderful.
Everybody should get involved, definitely.
We've been extremely busy.
I'm really enjoying it.
It's just a bit of fun, really.
It's fascinating.